Thank you, thank you. Starting with the round of applause, I like that. So, whoever's most comfortable, but is there anybody in the room that wants to give an idea of what they think a millennial is, or what characterizes a millennial? Les? Do you have an idea? Eh?
Well,
There's no right or wrong.
As a non-millennial, I would say one of the key things is that they are looking for experience and excitement, interest, challenge. They're not looking for boring, routine kind of opportunities.
Brilliant. Cool. Anyone else?
They're random.
Random?
They
Do you
just
wanna-
want to do what comes to mind at that point. They just sometimes looks like they didn't process it before and they just want to go with it.
Cool. Cool. There was a hand here.
Yeah.
Sundra and then Rita.
Stimulation and growth.
Yes,
What's
definitely.
interesting to me is that, I don't know, it's not really open for discussion, but it seems to be like a stereotype that they are very self-serving, but if there is research done that they actually don't want to be bored, they want to grow. That is what will keep them in the job, is if they are very...
Interesting. Sundra?
I think they're highly digitized.
Mm.
But they're also, in my terms, the most trophied at this stage of generations. In other words, they get, and I'm sure it's more to do with their parents' generation, but they get a trophy just for showing up.
Mm. Mm.
And the apocryphal story was a varsity student said to her lecturer, "My mum doesn't like the grade you gave me. Here she's on the phone."
Yeah.
So, now whether that's representative of them or not, but they do tend to give off that impression.
Yeah.
And I think,
One more, yeah.
I
Refuel
think,
there.
and I think it talks a bit to what Sundra is saying. Not always feeling the need to work very, very hard to get what you want.
Mm.
Work, but not so hard. So there's a want of a bit more ease in terms of getting what one wants, rather than a slog and hog that
That you might be accustomed to. Yeah, Gerrie?
Also with that, to want to have it immediately
Mm.
and not to wait too long.
100%. Had someone here? Yes, Simone?
Probably think more out of the box and push boundaries and look at things differently to the way we previous generations have been looking at it. And they take that to another level, because I was reading an article in Vanity Fair, the latest copy of edition of Vanity Fair, and somebody done research on the millennials' sexual behavior in Silicon Valley.
Mm.
And they also push fingers in terms of pushing boundaries.
Oh,
I
yeah.
won't discuss it. I
No,
won't-
no, I think let's keep it PG. Let's keep it
But if
PG.
you're interested, read the Vanity Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, we definitely, I think, it goes without saying, our generation's rather strange. Is that fair? Is it okay if I challenge you guys today?
Yes, of course.
Are you right with that?
Unless
Millennial challenging us?
Yeah? Oh, well, I think you guys are used to that, hey? Yeah.
just talked about hunting and shooting animals, please challenge.
So just a quick introduction to me. My name is Lawrence, and how I got into millennial coaching, I was 16 when my dad came up to me and he said, "Lawrence, you have to make a big decision. You have to decide what your career is going to be, because you have to start choosing the subjects that are going to get you to that career." And I'm thinking to myself, "Dad, can I just get through puberty, please? It's hard enough as it is." And I started thinking and thinking and thinking, and eventually it came to me. I knew what I was going to do. I was going to become a writer. Because I thought, how cool would it be to walk up to a pretty girl at a nightclub or a Nando's and say, "Hey baby, my name's Lawrence and I'm an author." And I went up to my dad and I said, "Dad, okay, cool, I want to be a writer." My dad says, "Wake up. Writers don't make any money." So instead, he got me to study computer science at the University of Pretoria. I got my honors and I started working for a global IT company called Dimension Data. You guys heard of? I think it's one of your clients, hey? And I worked there for 4 years, and it was an interesting experience. It didn't speak to my character at all. And after 4 years, I had to leave because it just wasn't serving me anymore. And that's when I fell in love with writing. I fell in love with speaking. And fell in love with researching and understanding millennials, because we are such a diverse group of people. So that is my quick introduction, Lawrence. That's what I do, and I'm here to share with you guys, as Pat said, what makes us tick. Okay, so millennials, anybody heard that before?
Yeah.
The selfie generation. I mean, we almost had a selfie here. You might not be from the right generation, but you had the selfie idea at least. Now, does anybody know where millennials actually are in the generational stage? What the age group is?
Is it 84? The one and 84, between 1984
84 to 2000.
Yeah. Cool. Can we look at all the generations from maturists to Zennials? Because there's actually quite a few generations. So our first generation that we're looking at here is the maturists. They were born pre-1945. Aspiration, home ownership, that's what they were looking for. That was for them success. They obviously weren't very engaged with technology because technology wasn't available yet. They had a one job for life. They were a carpenter. Their dad was a carpenter. They lived carpentry for the whole life. Their signature product that they were exposed to, an automobile, and their ability to communicate was always through a formal letter. Then we have the baby boomers, and baby boomers is really when the boom of babies came through. It was after the World War and we needed to, so to speak, repopulate. I'm sure that's what the Vanity Fair was all about as well. And
No.
why are you blushing, Simone? Yeah.
Only you can notice that.
The aspiration there was job security, attitude towards tech, early tech adopters, being introduced to the television, that was their signature product. Loyal to an organization. They were able to stay at a company like Telkom, Eskom, or change partners for their whole career. And the communication medium is telephone. We go to Generation X, your 1961 to 1980, all about work-life balance. They started to grow up with digitalization, loyal to a profession, not a company. So they were willing to go from Telkom to Dimension Data to MTN as long as it stayed in the same profession. But they weren't necessarily loyal to a brand. Personal computer, and they used email and SMS. We get to Generation Y, which is where the millennials fit in. 1981 to 1995, all about freedom and flexibility. And that's, I think, what frustrates so many people about us. So we love to be free. We grew up with technology, very much a digital entrepreneurship brand, where we don't want to work for a business, but we want to work with. And I think the best example is me with you guys. I want to partner with you. I don't want to work for you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Smartphone, and we use social media as our main form of communication. And then we've got Generation Z, which is slowly starting to come into the working world. And funny enough, they're all about security and stability. So if you look at us, we grew up mostly with technology, and times were quite changing, and we could have so much freedom because we could check on Google any answer and it worked. These guys have been exposed to iPads at the age of 2, 3. They've been exposed to so much change and trauma that they actually want security and stability. It's funny how it created freedom for us, and now it's creating a need for security for them. They are technoholics, you can put it that way. Career multitaskers. They're being exposed to nanocomputers, which is a computer the size of this, and it's more powerful than supercomputers of today. And handheld communication devices, which is really important for us as an organization to prepare for them. Any questions around this? Does this make a bit of sense?
Ladies and gentlemen, life is hard. It's always going to be hard. The thing is, you get to pick your hard. You get to pick. Leaving your comfort zone is hard. Staying broke is hard. You pick your hard. And I picked the hard of entrepreneurship.